There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim.
The Genesis 6 narrative states that the Nephilim are on the earth in those days and also afterwards. If that's true, can we find evidence that corroborates this? I'm L.A. Marzulli. Join me as we go on the trail of the Nephilim.
This unbelievable story. I read it today. Actually, hats off to my good friend Matt Brunet for sending it over. If you've got stories like this, please shoot them over to me, la@lamarzulli.net. 3,600-year-old pits full of giant hands discovered in Egypt. But there's no such thing as the Nephilim. That's why we're on the trail, folks. We'll get into that and so much more. But first, a word from our sponsor, Lifeline Screening.
Hey, listen to this. Cardiovascular diseases contribute to roughly 874,000 deaths each year. Anyone over the age of 40 should get checked annually to catch diseases early on. This is why I highly recommend getting yourself a prevention screen with Life Health Screening. They have industry-leading health screenings for cardiovascular disease, stroke, and most other chronic conditions. Early detection can help prevent progression before it's too late. If you wanted to get checked for cardiovascular disease, I highly recommend Life Health Screening. Check for special offers with a preventive health advisor by going to www.scheduleascreen.com or by visiting the link right on your screen. Once again, www.scheduleascreen.com. Scheduleascreen.com. Folks, I do it. Not this year, not for the last couple of years, but I have done it in the past, and it's the way to go. It gives you a little bit of peace of mind, especially when you're 71 years old.
Every Friday night at 11 o'clock on the East Coast, 8 o'clock on the left coast, on the PTL network. It's free. You can just go there, download the free app on your cell phone, never miss an episode. On the trail of a Nephilim. Broadcast quality. I spent a lot of time on the show. It'd be great to get more viewers there. We also preview that right here on YouTube, and we'll preview that tomorrow, of course. That will be the show tomorrow. So those of you who come to YouTube will get first see on it. Those of you who want to watch it twice, go to PTL or just check it out. If you can't see it tomorrow, then go tomorrow night at the PTL network on the iPhone or cable or however you want to do it and check out the show. Thanks so much for your support. I will be speaking, you can see my picture right there, at the Homeward Bound Prophecy Conference. That's coming up really quickly, May 19th to the 22nd. Unbelievable, right? Look at the lineup there. Stearman, Gonzalez, Price, Kenning, Ice, Salas, Marzulli, Billy Crome, Johnson, Ollison. You know, Larry is a really good friend of mine, Larry Ollison. And we spent some time on the island of Gozo together, and he's a real hoot, real great brother in the Lord. Ryan Pitterson will be there. Great book. I actually endorsed it on the Nephilim. Fantastic researcher and all-around great guy. Brent Miller Sr., great filmmakers, Brent Miller Jr., Todd Hampson, Derek Gilbert. You know, Derek and I have been sort of on the trail together now for years, off and on, but he's a great brother in the Lord, and there's more people there. So check it out, folks, and hopefully we'll see you there. Register now. Register now or call 888-722-0008. Register, just go to prophecywatchers.com. All right, let's get into it. 3,600, this puts it right in the time, very close to the conquest. And as we talked yesterday, the tablet, cursed, cursed, cursed. I did an interview with Aaron Lipkin, which is the nexus, the basis for tomorrow's show on PTL. I preempted what I was going to do because this is way too important. And it dovetails right into my wheelhouse. And what Aaron told me on the interview yesterday confirmed my suspicions. But I'll leave you hanging till tomorrow. Watch the entire interview. It's about 21 minutes. 21 minutes, and he was gracious enough to come on the record. I think we're going to do a Nephilim tour in Israel, probably 2023 next year. That's what we're planning on. Little itch on my nose here. But 2023 in Israel, we might partner with Prophecy Watchers, with Mondo, not sure yet. Last time I was there was several years ago, obviously before COVID, and Mondo and I did the tour together. But it was completely a Spiral of Life tour. This might be something different. Look, folks, when you're there, it's unbelievable. And we'll concentrate on Nephilim sites. We'll go to Gilgal Raphaim, the circle, the wheel of the giants. We'll visit the dolmens in that area. We'll go to other dolmens. We'll go to Tel Gezar, which is just incredible. And we kind of put that on the map, but I digress. Anyway, look at the size of a hand. So here we go, and this is what it's saying. A severed right hand discovered in front of the Hyksos Palace at Avaris, modern-day Tel El Daba. I have trouble with some of these names. Please forgive me. It would have been chopped off and presented to the king in exchange for gold. This is the first archaeological evidence of the practice. They were buried about 3,600 years ago. So we're looking at these giant hands here that were chopped off and buried. Look at the picture behind me, right there. See that big guy and then the little guy underneath cowering like that? What are we looking at? The giants are real. The Nephilim were real. This is all very close to Nephilim Central. The team of archaeologists who made the discovery determined that all the bones date to about 3,600 years ago, indicating that they all came from the same ceremony. All hands appear to be, this is the one I was looking for. All the hands appear to be abnormally long or even larger than normal. They were classified into 4 different graves within what scientists believe was the actual Hyksos complex. Look, folks, see that bas-relief there, carved in stone? That's what we're talking about. See how big that guy is? He's a 10-footer. He's a 10-footer. We interviewed a gentleman last Monday, all right, when I was in Oklahoma. Mondo and I went up and interviewed this man. And I talked about it, but I'll say it again. Right here in the Americas, there was a rescue archaeological dig in 1928 to 1930. They flooded this entire area. It became a man-made lake. But before they did that, there were 8 mounds and a very large mound. They never got to the big mound. They pulled out over 600 skeletons in these mounds. One of them was a 10-footer. That 10-footer was openly on display. And this woman that this man knows, Wayne, knew basically all his life, passed away several years ago. She was 6 years old when her father took her to see the giant 10-foot skeleton. So this is my wheelhouse. This is why we are on the trail. Why do I care so much? Because it points back to the validity of the biblical prophetic narrative. I'll read it again. All the hands appear to be abnormally long or even larger than normal. Let's go back. Look at the fingers. Look at the fingers. And I have a problem with this, and I'll get to that in just a second. Look at the hands closely. Let's go to the far right hand, the middle of a screen. Look at all the pottery shards around that, right? Look at the hand, which is sort of isolated by itself. Okay, let's count the fingers. Why hasn't anybody brought this? Why isn't anyone talking about this? Let's count the fingers that we see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the thumb? Thumb's not there. Thumb is not there, is it? Right? Let's go to the left-hand side and count the fingers there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that long finger a thumb? You tell me. And look down here in the lower, it's on the left-hand side. That looks like a thumb bone right there. See it? It's under the hand, which is like this, okay? And the thumb would be, it's very close to it. So here we have 5 fingers, but notice the size of the thumb. It's normal, right? It's a normal sized thumb. Again, I call your attention. Look over here to the hand, which is kind of like this. All right, but there's no thumb. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. They're all very long, but there's no thumb. So were they 6 fingers? I don't know. I would love to be able to talk to the archaeologists and find if there was evidence of 6 fingers. Because we know the Nephilim had 6 fingers. How do we know that? From the biblical prophetic narrative right here. It's written in here. It's written in our Bibles, and that's why I am on the trail. This find could reveal the true story about a civilization of enormous dimensions, where the discovery of these giant hands could shed light on ancient stories that were previously discussed, were only fables or inventions of conspiracy theorists. There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, bully for these people, this team of archaeologists who uncovered this and is now bringing it to the world. Folks, they were here. They were here. The giants were here. They were here in the Americas. They're all over. The fingerprints of the supernatural. I was on a show a couple of days ago, actually yesterday, and it was over in the UK. And this man was asking me pretty much stock questions. We always give a sheet of questions for people to draw from in case they can't have it. Most people don't have the time to do the research. If you're doing shows 5 days a week, you got to send questions. And so that's what we did. We sent questions, and I just went off. I mean, I just went off, and I was on fire because we see vestiges of the Nephilim from certainly the Levant, and then it goes westward, and it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere, and that's why we are on the trail. Interested at all? And by the way, before I get to this is really interesting, and I'm going to correlate it back to a show that we've already done, the Gold Museum in Lima. Now, there are people who were there in the 60s and saw the giant mummies on the golden thrones. If you've got pictures of that, or your grandfather has pictures of that, please send them my way. We know it was there. It's all been scrubbed from the internet. It's all, you could go 4 or 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, more likely. You could go and you could find little vestiges of it on YouTube. Most of it's been scrubbed. So this is a still shot from a man who sent this to me. I forget the gentleman's name, please forgive me. But this is what it kind of looked like. And we see this skull is huge. Look at the picture to the right. That's a normal Inca warrior, let's say. And this is the guy to the left. He's like a 12-footer. He's a 12-footer. We heard from the Wakaros. I've talked to these people. I've talked to the Wakaros who 30, 40 years ago, when they were probing certain areas in Peru, Wakaro was a grave robber. They discovered giants like this. The skeletons are long gone. That's 40 years ago. But there's oral reports from the Wakaros, and guess what? They have no Nephilim dog in the hunt at all. So this is once again from the museum, the Gold Museum in Lima. There's another shot of it, and we can see that things are changing here. Now it's only from sort of a neck up. So I don't know what to make of it. I know that there were pictures, there were rumors they were 9 to 10 foot skeletons encased in gold thrones. If you're interested at all, and man, I hope you are, please go to our Uscreen account. It's streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You can download them all for just basically nothing. You help keep the lights on here, and you will enrich what you know about world history. Because I'll say it again, there is a hidden history that's been deliberately, with every deliberate intention that they can do, hidden from you and me. And that's why we're on the trail. Let's get into our UFO disclosure discussion tonight. I think you'll find this interesting. And hopefully, if you have a UFO report, please shoot me the email, la@lamarzulli.net, la@lamarzulli.net. We get them almost daily from people. Folks, they're real, burgeoning, not going away. UFO disclosure, it's our free film. If you scroll down a little bit, open up the text box below this, you will see, just scroll down, you'll see the link to the free UFO film. I'm working on number 2. It will be released at the end of April, definitely, because I've got the body pretty much roughed out, and now I'm polishing. I'm going back and adding music and effects and everything else. I'm also working on number 3. So there's 5 films that we know about. We've already shot most of the film for 3, 4, and 5. So we're in post-production on all, and we're trying to make them better. We might be bringing God's Shimura up here to help me with the editing, get another set of eyes before we release it to the public. So more about that. But here's what this gentleman says. Mr. Marzulli, in 1966, while hunting at night with my cousin, we came upon a disc-shaped UFO sitting on the ground. This is the strange part. The UFO was running some type of engine which sounded like a present-day jet engine, which makes me believe that this was some sort of secret government project. Both he and I assumed we were somehow detected by the craft operators as we were approaching it, because the craft suddenly shut down the engine, lifted straight up off the ground without making a sound, came towards both of us approximately 75 to 100 feet above us, and proceeded in an eastward direction, gradually gaining elevation. We watched this craft for approximately 1 minute, and another object came from a northward direction, flew directly over the first craft, and both disappeared. I have more details, but this is a short version of the encounter we experienced. I have not written back. I will be writing back shortly after this broadcast is finished today, and try to get more details. Maybe he'll come on the record. We'll see. A lot of people won't do that, even though Fox News and CNN and basically all the media have now, and our government has declared that UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, are real. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Why won't the church? They still won't address it, but we address it here every day. Why? I'll tell you why. Because it is the coming great deception and the Luciferian endgame. Free film. Scroll down, watch it. You need to. It's that important. Moving right along, folks. Thanks so much for watching On the Trail of a Nephilim. Thanks for your support. We really appreciate you coming here every day. We're trying to get our numbers up, and we're looking for sponsors. So if you have a product that you'd like to have us advertise on the show, we can certainly do that. So thanks so much for watching. Remember, we'll see you on the air or in the air.
My name is Alan Matthews. I've seen a UFO.
I've seen a UFO.
And I saw a
And I saw a
UFO.
UFO.
A UFO.